morning, students. August 10th, 2023, we will discuss English 4 syllabus and students will interview a classmate. Friday, August 11th, 2023, students will go to Illuminate through the test portal. New students use ClassLink to enter the portal. You will take the English ACT portion for 45 minutes. Then you will take the Reading ACT portion for 35 minutes. Afterward, you will complete My Sister Legia bell ringers 1 through 5. Monday, August 14th, 2023. Essential questions. How will I earn an A in this class? Objective. I can cite strong textual evidence to support the analysis. Determine two or more themes and analyze thematic development. Analyze the author's choices, character, setting, mood/atmosphere. Analyze figurative language and connotative words and phrases. Write a persuasive analysis essay on Gascoigne's poem. What are we doing today? Activity 1, interacting with the prompt. Activity 2, interacting with the poem. Activity 3, close reading questions. Please make sure that you've turned in bell ringers 1 through 11 and you've turned in classmate interview organizer. Good morning, students. Let's look at the diagnostic assignment for this class. The poem for That He Looked Not Upon Her by George Gascoigne, created in 1573, was the focal text of question 1 on the 2014 AP Literature and Composition exam. I know that this is not AP Lit and Composition. I know that. However, this is a very good assignment. The prompt directed exam takers to analyze how the author developed the speaker's complex attitude through poetic devices. If it is complex, that means that there is more than one attitude. Keep that in mind. Test takers must read closely to sort out poetic devices used by the author to convey the speaker's complex attitude. These ideas must be coherently organized and supported with evidence from the passage. The following activities are intended to help shape stylistically mature and effective essays based on this challenging passage. Let's look at activity number 1. You're interacting with the prompt. So for activity 1, the only thing I want you to be concerned with is the prompt. Okay, this is the prompt here. The following poem is by the 16th century English poet George Gascoigne. Read the poem carefully, then write an essay in which you analyze how the complex attitude of the speaker is developed through such devices as form, diction, and imagery. You already know that you're going to have to write about 3 things in this essay. So let's review what is form. Form is the structure of the text. It is the style in which the text is written. Diction is word choice. Imagery is words that appeal to the senses. Okay, so you're going to answer questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can give you one ahead of time. Historical context, it was the English Renaissance. Okay, so it was 1573. The English Renaissance was in the late 1400s to late 1600s. So I sort of just gave you one for number 2. Okay, all right, let's move on to activity 2. This is where you are interacting with the poem. Now, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to read the poem silently without any annotations. Okay, and then you're going to move on to the rest of activity 2. Yes, if I say 1 to 2 sentences, it has to be in a complete sentence or 2. Okay. Then you're going to move on to 3. Let's look at some words that you may need to review. Archaic means that it is a word that we, in contemporary society, we hardly ever use anymore. That's what the word archaic means. Connotative, that means whether a word has negative or positive connotations. Tone is the author or speaker's attitude towards the subject. What is a shift? A shift is when the author's tone or attitude changes in the text. and it is usually accompanied by a change in focus. So pay attention to the shift in the poem. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of words, and rhyme scheme. Okay, rhyme scheme refers to the pattern of rhymes in a poem. The sound at the end of each line determines the rhyme scheme. So let's go back up and see what the rhyme scheme is in the first part. Okay, so strange, low, range, grow. A, B, A, B. Trap, bait, mishap, deceit. That doesn't necessarily rhyme, but okay. It is CD, CD, flame, fire, game, desire, EF, EF, head, bread, GG. Okay, so we know the rhyme scheme there. Okay, alrighty. So we know ahead of time that this is most likely a Shakespearean sonnet because there were several ways to do a sonnet. And what is in a Shakespearean sonnet? It has 3 quatrains and a rhyming couplet. Okay, so we are now going to look at what is syntax. Syntax is the way that the words are arranged in a sentence. Okay, so syntax in the English language consists of subject, verb, object. Okay? Anything that goes out of that norm. We also have subject, verb, indirect object, and object as well, but usually when we write a sentence, it's subject, verb, and object. If we put the verb before the subject, that is unusual context. That is unusual syntax. So pay attention to that. Syntax is the way that the words are arranged in a sentence. Then in this part, you're going to paraphrase the poem. You're going to put the poem into your own words. And then for I'll let you read that yourselves. And then let's look at activity 3, the close read questions. Okay, so 1, 2 is pretty self explanatory, positive and negative connotations. That's pretty self explanatory. And tone, remember, tone is the writer or speaker's attitude towards the subject. We're going to be looking at animal imagery here with the mouse and the fly. And 5 and 6 are pretty self explanatory. Okay, now if you need any help or assistance with activities 1, 2, and 3, I want you to speak aloud in class, send me a remind message, or email me if you have any questions or concerns about this assignment. Remember, this is an individual assignment and you are not to talk to anyone because I have to know where you are so I can take you farther. Have a good day. Bye bye.